Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a review. I thought I'd just do a quick review on a GPS that I got. Thought I'd try out this Chinese-made version of a GPS. It's very, I guess, off-brand. There's no brand name even on it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is the box. It just says GPS planet navigation, I suppose, is what they were trying to do there, but it looks like PIANET. And then the phrasing on the box also is a little bit, sorry for the reflection, it's a little bit weird. Optional major brands of electronic navigation map. The optional thing is a little bit weird there. It says do not have any access, no other charges. I'm assuming that means you don't have anything to pay for. Error in the 2.5 meters of, I'm guessing they mean your accuracy is within 2 to 5 meters. So you can see that the phrasing on the box is very Chinese. Somebody just really doesn't have a good handle on the English language when they printed the packaging. My suggestion is they get somebody who lives in America or England or somewhere that speaks better English to rewrite their packaging for them. This is what you see when you open the box. It looks pretty good. The box is decent quality, and right on the top is the unit. It's padded in foam. It feels pretty heavy. It feels pretty good. Of course, this is the front of the unit. It's nice and large. And the back, it looks like you have probably a speaker back there, and that may also help with cooling. We'll see. And then you have the standard USB, mini USB connector. So it's not the micro and it's not the USB-C. And then you've got a SD card, looks like a headphone jack, and a power jack is what it looks like. All right. And underneath you have the mount, which it's all right. It seems fairly sturdy. Well, it's zipped up in this bag, but it's your standard suction cup type mount. We'll see if it'll stick to anything other than glass. This looks like the clip that the unit snaps into. Just snaps in there, I'm sure, and then it mounts onto the mount. And then there is a 12-volt power supply, and it looks like it also has the USB connector. I'm sure you could power that and also hook it up to your computer. So that's what's included. I'm going to install this in my semi-tractor and run it concurrently with my other units and just kind of confirm its accuracy, see what it looks like, and find out how to use it. All right, that's all for now. Okay, y'all, I'm getting ready to install the unit. This is the mount for the window, the windshield. I'm in my semi. I'm going to be running against a Ram McNally TD 520, I believe is what the designation is. I've had that for years for trucks, and I was a little bit surprised that the unit right there, it actually has settings for trucks in it. You can put the height and the length, the width, the whole thing. I programmed that in there last night. It wasn't the easiest thing to figure out, but after a while you can kind of figure out where all the settings are. The instructions, I said destructions because maybe that's a Freudian slip, I don't know. They're pretty sparse. But I wanted to take a second to show you. This actually does have a 90-degree mini USB port, which is kind of nice on these tablets so that you don't have it sticking out quite as hard. It's not as easy to break off. So, and then the standard 12-volt adapter. So I'm gonna set this up and get it running. And you know, it's basically a little tablet. There's other things on the tablet, like you could play games, and I don't know, there doesn't appear to be internet access on it, but I mean, it's supposed to be GPS, so we're just going to run GPS, and that's what I'm going to test today. I'm not really going to test any of the other apps that are on there. Alright, so I just installed this. That's the home screen that comes up. I've got this mount pretty tight, but this still swivels a little bit too much for my liking. I have a feeling that in a truck that gets a lot of vibration and hits a lot of bumps and does a lot of miles, this is going to move around too much. I'm not sure what my options would be for changing out the mount, but that would be my first inclination, is to change the mount. It's stuck to the windshield, okay. Other thing that I see a little problem with is this cord. It's pretty short. I've got it plugged in right behind there on the dash, and that's as long as it gets, is right there. So if you had any sort of long cable run, you're going to need a different cord. Probably needs to be a minimum of twice as long as it is. That's the way all the other cords I have are, and they came stock like that. So I would say to the manufacturer, please get a longer cord, and think about beefing up the mount a little bit. I know this is inexpensive. I think I paid under 60 bucks on Amazon for this, but still, you know, I'd pay 65 if I had a longer cord and the mount was a little bit more robust. All right, so the navigation is pretty easy. You just tap that, it takes you to the navigation screen. And it's some sort of app. As I said, I set it up for a truck. You can set up for your speed and length and height and width, the whole thing, and weight. So I'm not sure if it's going to come up with violations or not if I'm trying to go down a weight restricted or height restricted route, because honestly I don't do that anyway on a regular basis. My regular GPS helps me avoid that, but it'll verify which profile you wanted to use, so if you wanted to do that. And then it's pretty self-explanatory here. Your destination, you can find the address. It does have find places, which is a POI type thing, so if you're looking for a gas station, so let's just tap that and see what's programmed in. That's actually pretty accurate. Close by me here, there's some Citco's, mobile station. So the POIs are kind of nice to have. Then there would be parking, which parking I'm just going to guess is not going to be truck parking, but that would be, yeah, well, there is rest area. That would, I guess, be included. Beloit rest area. See, it's already skipping over like the truck rest areas, and I'm not sure at this point if I would be able to add my own POIs. I'm guessing I could just drop in a POI file that would have truck stops or something like that. All right, so address. So we are in Wisconsin. We're going to be going to Janesville, so That's actually accurate. And first place we're going is Milton Avenue. I'm going to a furniture store this morning right in town and see that filled that in when I did something close. It did do a pre-fill, which was good. And then I'm going to want to do the house number, the address number. Alright. Then I guess it's doing a match. It searches and matches. I don't know why there's two of them. Same address. Then it's verifying my length and width and height if I have a trailer. And there it is. So it's programmed the route in, and once it has the route programmed, I believe we can actually look at the turn by turn. Let me go back here. Let's see. Menu, maybe. Route options. Somewhere on here, I thought I was able to check the turn by turn. And maybe that's not the case. You would think it'd be a little bit easier. Like I said, the instructions aren't super okay, itinerary, there we go. That's what it calls it, the itinerary. This is telling me I want to go out to Kellogg Avenue, Reuter Way, Beloit Avenue, and then I'm going to go on 11, I'm going to go on 39, I'm going to get off on Milton Avenue, and that is pretty accurate, just looking at it. So we'll see how it navigates when I actually run the route. All right, I'll update in a little bit. So I've been using the GPS for almost 3 days now, 2.5 days.
Turn left on ramp to I-39 South.
I'm actually running 3 different GPSs at the same time and comparing all of them. And the one I'm reviewing right now seems like it's pretty accurate down to street level. There's only been one time when it was telling me to turn right so I could go down and turn around in order to turn left, and that just could be because the map is not updated yet. I mean, they may not have that update in their map system, but otherwise it's matched my Rand McNally pretty closely. And up to this point, if I would have followed it, I wouldn't have gotten lost. It wouldn't have taken me down an illegal road or anything like that so
7 miles
far.
ahead, take ramp to I-39 South.
I haven't taken it in any really heavy truck restricted areas, so I really can't tell you for sure how that's going to react in the low clearance thing or restricted weight areas and stuff like that. I just haven't been in those sorts of areas where my Rand McNally would give me a warning. But street to street, all the way down to address level, to pinpoint level, it's been pretty close to what my Rand McNally's been. So I can definitely say, if you just need it for, if you're doing like hotshot deliveries with a van that's not super tall, or if you're driving around in your car, I don't see any reason why this GPS really wouldn't work for you. You can tweak the settings here and there. That's still one complaint I have. There's like one or two more screens than I would like. I'd like to get straight to navigating, and there's usually at least one extra screen that I wouldn't have involved with my Rand McNally. But you know, you kind of get used to it. It only takes, you know, a brief second longer to navigate through the screen. The more I use it, the faster I get using it. It puts the same sort of signs, notations up. It shows you the local speed limits. It tells you how fast you're going. You know, it has all the bells and whistles really, as a normal GPS would. If you want to, you know, a dedicated GPS device, I mean, for less than $60, I think it's a pretty good value. When it's not connected to power, it'll go for, I mean, I didn't time it exactly, but it was almost 2 hours, I believe. Like I said, I didn't put a timer on it, but I know it was some time before I plugged it back in, and it ran off battery power just fine with no problems. I did notice I was going through a longer tunnel. It wasn't quite a quarter mile, and I didn't get a notification that I lost a signal on my other two devices, but on this GPS I did lose the GPS signal, and it could be that I have just a better signal with the Rand McNally, and then my truck GPS, the one that comes in the truck that the company supplies, that also works off a cell signal, so I don't know that I would lose signal nearly as fast on those two devices, but this one did. So if you know you're in a tunnel, it's hard to make a turn and get lost in a tunnel, so it's not that big a deal. You'd have to experiment with it to see if you're riding through mountains, if for some reason it would block your satellite signal. I wouldn't anticipate that, as long as you position the GPS in an area that you know that you normally would, somewhere close to where it's going to get a signal. So it's been working out pretty good. You're going to hear three different voices here. Two of them are going to be telling me to turn around. One of them, I'm taking a quick break to get some coffee. But they'll all tell you if you need to turn around. The other small thing that I have with this cheaper GPS.
151 to I-39 south.
Calculating route. Drive for 67 miles.
Sorry about all that chatter from all the GPSs. But the other small thing I have with this bargain GPS, is, I guess is what I'll call it, is it doesn't give you a whole lot of warning when you're at your turn, and that the distance changes a lot. Sometimes it'll tell me 100 feet, which is not that much of a warning. 500 feet, it'll tell me half a mile. There's no clear understanding of some sort of trigger. Hopefully you can hear me speak through all of that.
0.3 miles ahead, turn left on Eisenhower Avenue, Route R North.
The GPSs are going a little
2 miles
crazy because
ahead,
I'm
turn
going
left on
off
Prairie
route.
Drive.
Calculating route.
The basically the short answer is I think that's worth the money.
1,000 feet, turn left.
I'll put the brand, the company name in the description of the video. It wasn't clear from the box. It's not like you won't see a big clear designation like this is a Garmin or this is a Rand McNally
0.3
or this
miles
is a
ahead, turn left on
Magellan or anything
Wisconsin
like that. It's
54 West.
you know, this is a Chinese, mass-made, probably under several different companies. So it's hard for me to really determine if there's a brand name, but I can tell you the company that I bought it from, which you would be able to tell on Amazon if you're searching this device, and I'll see if it will allow me to link the Amazon link to where I bought it from to.
0.3 miles ahead, use the left lane to stay on Wisconsin 54 West.
Well, I'm gonna park now, so I'm gonna stop this review and pick it up in just a second. All right, so this is the screen when you're doing your normal navigation. You can see it'll tell you your next turn, what the intersection is going to kind of look like, distance to your next stop, how long it's going to take you to get there. The arrival time is off. I didn't really set the time. And then you have options here. You can change your route settings, map settings. You can take a look at your history, where you've been, which I've been today just to Janesville, to Stevens Point, going back to Janesville. But it keeps your history, so you can go through and find the locations that you were and then just tap it and it'll program it in again. Then you have other options here for your route options. You can do your updates from there. You can figure out your fuel, trips, you know, there's a music player. I mean, there's other options inside there. And then you can exit the navigation totally. And there are a few more things. You can store videos and photos and music on here. There's a FM radio option, which you can find, you know, you can, haven't messed with it, but if for some reason you decide you need to listen to FM radio, you have that option as well. There's a basic calculator in there, which is helpful. You can set the time and date, and you can get the GPS info, which is going to basically tell you your satellite connections and the strength for each one of those connections. And it looks like we've got 3, 6, 9, 11 connected now, so we're pretty accurate. And it's, you know, you can monitor your speed and everything pretty accurately, location accurately. You can calibrate the screen, and you can restore the settings and change the backlighting, all that sort of stuff. So it's, you know, it's a basic type tablet. I'm guessing it's an Android type tablet with a navigation app, and it all comes down to you know, can you get good satellite connections, and are your maps any good? The way that they do the map updates, they're free, but you have to email the company and they'll just send you a file with the map update. They didn't have a map update. I did email them. They did have a POI update, so there were points of interest that they sent me, and I would assume that you could get points of interest on the internet anywhere that you can just plug in here. It's a normal POI file, and you shouldn't have any problem if you're, you know, if you're already familiar with that. So if you want to put in all the Walmarts, or put in all the pilots, or put in, you know, if you have a specific POI file you want to put in there, shouldn't have any problems with that. In general, let me switch this back. So in general, I would say it's a decent little GPS. I'm already using one that I trust from Rand McNally, but this other one is good for, I have a side business where I deliver, or I pick up books, so I'm going all over the state picking up books to resell, and I would definitely trust it just to get me from place to place with my pickup truck and my trailer. like I said, it hasn't gone through the hard test of, is this going to work with a semi-truck long term, because I haven't really been able to check it against low clearances or weight restricted areas and stuff like that. If that stuff pops up and I'm able to confirm that, I can update the comments or whatever later. But just as far as having a good quality little GPS for an inexpensive price, especially a 7-inch screen type, so you know, the viewing area is great. It works good. It's about as big as I'd want. I mean, I see some people that have like full tablet size GPSs that probably overkill, but you know, whatever you like is fine. But for me, this is a 7-inch screen, I believe is what it is, and that's as big as I'd ever really want it, no matter what vehicle I was driving, unless it was set in the dash. That would be different. It'd be a multi-function unit at that point, with, you know, vehicle controls and all that. And this is just strictly a GPS, but for what it is, you know, it's a good deal. I would guess that at times you might be able to get this a little bit less expensive. I'm sure there'll be, you know, over time the price will probably drop as well, but I mean, it's under 60 bucks the way it is. I think mine with tax and everything was something like 57 or 58 bucks. Using Prime, it got shipped straight to me within 2 days. I think I ordered it one day in the evening, and it was there 2 days later, and I started using it shortly after that. So that's it for the review. I pretty much give it a thumbs up. I mean, if you're looking for truck specific, I would, if this is all you can afford, it's not a terrible GPS to get. I would just still be aware that you may get a routing that's going to send you down a low clearance or a weight restricted or otherwise truck restricted route. So you'd want to double check that with a map, and with, you know, with wherever you're going. Check with the consignee or the shipper, whoever. Just make sure the route you're planning to take, a truck can actually go down that route. But so far it hasn't routed me anywhere I shouldn't go. If you're going to buy it for any other reason, you know, if you're not driving heavy equipment or over height or over width equipment, there's no reason this wouldn't work for you that I can find. I haven't had any problems with it electronically. You know, it powers up fantastic. The battery lasts a long time if you're on battery power, you know, at least a couple hours. So there's no reason I can see, quality wise or navigation wise, why it wouldn't work for most people in most circumstances. All right, so I know it's been a while since I've done a video. Thanks for checking back in. Hopefully I can do more videos in the future. I've been pretty busy. I'm, you know, working almost 60 hours a week driving a truck, plus I've got a side business where I probably work almost 20 more hours a week doing that at least, and it's hard to fit video time in. The editing is murder. Shooting a video is only a few minutes, but trying to edit a video, that's a totally different situation. So hopefully I can get this edited out to you quickly, and keep checking in. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and give me a comment if you think my review is crap. Go ahead and write, hey, your review kind of sucked on that, or if you like it, I don't care, just do something on there, you know, like it, hate it, whatever. Interact. I just want to see what y'all think. All right, thanks a lot. Have a good one. We'll check you next time.